my other relationship with the married guy ended. That was really weird how that ended. We were hot and cold, hot and cold. I was very much way more into him than he was into me.
Mm-hmm.
So it was always me putting forth effort. Let's get together. Let's get together with my kid's schedule. We only had like I'm like once every 2 weeks. Like, and he was so busy, and I'm like, you work full time and you have a stay at home wife. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I have 24 hours. You have 24 hours. I take care of my house by myself. I work full time. I have my child half time by myself. Like, you make shit priorities that you want to do, and you're not making
Right.
me a priority, and that's fine. Just say that. Just don't tell me that you're so busy, right? So we were at Shameless at the Poly Hangout,
Mm-hmm.
the first one that they had back in April, and I was sitting there with him and his wife and her boyfriend, and I'm giving them a back rub, and there were other people they were talking to, and one of the other people were like, "Oh, how long have you guys been together?" Which my boyfriend pipes up. He's like, "Oh, my wife and I have been together 17 years, and her and her boyfriend have been together 3." That's all he said. And I'm like literally touching his back, like, how could you not ignore?
Right.
I don't even get like honorable mention here.
Right.
I'm like, what the hell? So I was like, what was, he's like,
And you were it was 3 years at that point?
yeah, we were together almost 3 years at that point.
Wow.
And I was like, how did I not even get a mention? Like, I was touching you. You couldn't have forgotten about me, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, like, I don't, what was I supposed to say? And he's like, Kieran's been in my life 3 years. I'm like, well, any of that would have worked. And then
Yeah.
we started realizing that we'd really resisted labeling things.
Mm-hmm.
So he, in his mind, was thinking of us more as intimate acquaintances
Okay.
or an intimate friendship. And I was thinking of us more of in a relationship.
Right.
So there's that whole friendship relationship thing. So
Mm-hmm.
I was way more invested in it and thought that we had this whole different level of relationship. And whereas he were thinking, oh, this is a really cool friend. We get together. Sometimes we get intimate. Sometimes we don't. And I'm like, yeah, we're not at all on the same page, you know?
So did he have anyone else?
No, just his wife. Just his wife.
So it was you and his wife
Mm-hmm.
for 3 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like he just didn't want any label at all. Because, I mean, I saw someone for 2 years, and I just considered it dating, whether, we only saw each other, like, once every like, week and a half.
Okay.
It was, like, 2 years. After 2 years of seeing this person, like, how could I not mention
Right.
that? Like, this is a person.
Correct.
Right. So, I totally see where...
And he'll tell
That's
me, like,
like,
you are the second, like, most important person in my life. There's my wife, and then there's you.
Mhm.
Which I always correct him. I'm like, no, I'm number 3. You're number 1, your wife's number 2, and I'll gladly take number 3. But I'm like, if I'm that important to you, but you don't even acknowledge me, like, it's so incongruent. Like, so
Right.
incongruent.
So that wasn't cool.
Yeah, no.
And so did that lead to you guys separating?
Yeah.
Really?
Because he was like, well, this is where I'm at, and this is all I've got, and this is what I'm interested in. So, like, it was, in my head, or in my perception, it was a unilateral decision by him. Like, this is where I'm at, this is where I've been the whole time.
Right.
Like, you're over here, but I've been over here, and this is all that I've got. So, it was a take it or leave it type thing. And
So what interests me is, like, nothing actually changed. So what caused you guys to not be together? Because regardless of where you were and where he
Right.
was, nothing changed.
What changed was the fact that I quit putting forth effort.
Mm-hmm.
I told him I wasn't interested in being sexual with him if he wasn't interested in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I have plenty of other friends that it's less complicated to have sex with.
Right.
Um,
But it was still going okay for you. Or was it going okay for you?
it wasn't as fulfilling as I wanted it to
Okay,
be up
okay.
to that point.
So
and then
then-
when I realized, like, no, this is where he's at,
Mm-hmm.
I gave up the chase. I quit
Right.
putting forth the effort. And once I stopped reaching out, it became so blatantly obvious that I carried the relationship.
Okay, so yeah, you did say that you put in more effort. So that him saying that just made it obvious, like, this is what's going on.
Exactly.
This is
Yeah,
why
it was
this
kind
is
of a
going
reality
on.
check for me.
Okay.
Yeah, like, this is where he's at. That's not where I want to be in a relationship. So this isn't going to work for us because
Mhm.
we're in two different places.
So you don't want that kind of relationship at all.
Not with him, no.
Not with him.
Nope.
So when I say that kind of relationship, I mean one where you're essentially the one setting things up more than the other person.
I don't mind that in general.
Hmm.
I typically tend to be the person to reach out to people.
Hmm.
My best friend's like, you make it so easy to be your friend, you know? Because
Hmm.
I do. I'm always reaching out to people. But I got to feel that it's reciprocated. And
Hmm.
that doesn't necessarily mean other people reaching out to me, but people being available.
Right.
You know, and the line I kept getting from him is, I'm so busy, I don't have time, I don't have
Right.
time.
Yeah.
Well, just tell me you don't want to see me. Like, that authenticity, like, be honest. I'm not that into you, I don't want to see you. Okay, I can handle that.
How often did you guys see each other?
About once a month.
Once a month.
At the end, before we were seeing each other every other week. Yeah.
Okay.
And then it started to, they moved out to Pacific
Huh. Okay.
about a year ago, which
Hmm.
made it a lot more difficult because it's 45 minutes each way, you know?
All right. So it's a year of being that distance.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh. Okay.
So,
Interesting.
yeah, it's just a different alignment with what I want versus what he has to offer.